build the world that we want to see, where we live in peace, from fear we're free. False borders fall, we'll join hand in hand till the arc of justice touches every land. Build the world that we want to see, where we live in peace, from fear we're free. False borders fall, we'll join hand in hand till the arc of justice touches.
I'm here today with two of my favorite entertainers, and I'm really serious about that. You know, I've had, although I don't go to concerts and things like that, I have had the occasion to have Greg Artzner and Terry Leonino, better known as Magpie, in my studio and performing in my studio, and they just give you chills when they're performing. So it's my great pleasure to introduce my YouTube channel audience to two of the finest musicians who are now celebrating their 50th anniversary together, and goodness, they've got a great new album out, Magpie, and that's what Greg and Terry call themselves, and they have lots of incredible stories to tell, and hopefully they will entertain us much the same way and give you the chills that they've given to me. Hi Greg, hi Terry.
Hey, Artie.
Hi, Artie.
So good to see you guys again, and let's jump back to the beginning. You met 50 years ago,
50 years ago.
How did that all happen?
This is what they call in the movies. They call a meet cute. But Terry and I had a little meet cute. What happened was, in the spring of '73, I was playing this gig at a club, which was the rock and roll, off-campus rock and roll club, right across from the main gate of Kent State University campus in Kent, Ohio. And it was called the Robin Hood. Now, everybody knew it as the Robin Hood. It was the Robin Hood for many, many years, except for like 2 years, which was like 1973 and 1974. These two guys bought the business, and they changed the name to Friar Tuck. Well, they called it Friar Tuck. Some people called it Friar Tuck, but everybody else still called it the Robin Hood. So I had this. These were, guys who running a bar. They had rock and roll in there 7 nights a week. But the one guy was a fan of folk, and he really wanted to bring some folk in there, so he chose Sunday night, and he gave me the gig. And the reason that he gave me the gig was because I had a friend in Kent who was doing some theater in his space. And so he said, why not? So I got this gig on Sunday nights. He booked me for 3 Sunday nights in a row in the spring of 1973. Well, I get up there, I think it was my second night, because the first night, nobody knew about it. There was no publicity. I got this gig on the spur of the moment, went down there, nobody around. Second Sunday night, though, the word had gotten out. And so what should happen is, I'm getting ready to do my first set, and in comes this young woman carrying her guitar, not in a case, mind you. I think it might have been in a pillowcase or something. It might have been in a bag, but it wasn't in a guitar case. But she had several, I'm not even sure how many, 10, 15 maybe, young women with her, and one guy. And they come walking in, and so the owner of the bar comes up to me, and he pronounces to me, he tells me that this is Terry. She's going to play a couple of songs on your breaks. I did 3 sets, so she did 2 short sets. And so I said, oh, okay. So I did my first set, and then she got up to play. And all the women who came down with her, they were all women from her dormitory where she was the RA at Humphrey Hall on the far side of campus. So they just went absolutely wild for her. Well, I kind of went wild for her. She was really good. She played the 12-string guitar, really solid rhythm, wrote her own songs. She was obviously influenced by all the big folk women of the day. She sounded a little bit like Joni Mitchell, and she had a little bit more sensibility of Joan Baez, maybe a little bit of Judy Collins thrown in. She had her own voice. She had her own. It was really, really. I was knocked out by her.
Yeah.
And I was a little intimidated, to be honest with you. I went and did my gig. Well, the girls, from the dorm, they were very polite to me. They applauded, but they didn't really they didn't get excited about me or anything. After the show was over, her boyfriend, that was the guy who came in with her, was her boyfriend, Bill. He encouraged Terry to come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I know it was probably not the best thing in the world for me to bring my audience with me like that, but I really like your music, because folk musicians travel in small circles, and you don't want to get somebody on your bad side. You don't want to make an enemy right out of the gate." So she came up to me, and she was so sweet, and she was very, very nice. "How'd you like to get together sometime and jam? Maybe we could." I was kind of enthusiastic about the idea of just right on the surface of it, but we had no occasion. That was that. So then we had the entire summer, and it turned out she was living in an apartment right behind the Robin Hood, and I was living on the same street, but way up the hill. And so we actually saw each other a couple of times when I took my dog down to run her across the front of campus, or Terry was going over to Captain Brady's coffee shop, which was right across the street. And so we saw each other a couple of times, but it wasn't until the fall, in September, that we were reintroduced by a mutual acquaintance, somebody that Terry had already known, and a guy that I just met. It was a one-day folk music concert festival day during freshman orientation week out in front of the new student union on campus. And so Terry played with, she did a duo thing with a guy she had been in a band with who played piano, and they sang together. And then I did a solo thing, and then my friend Mark Cozy, who was a guy I went to school with, he was there with this other guy. His name was Rick Jones. And Rick was a lead guitar player and a real music aficionado. Well, Rick really liked the way I sounded. He knew Terry. He really liked the way she sounded, and he thought we should form a trio. So he called her up a couple days later and said, "How'd you like to form a trio with Greg?" And Terry said, "That's a cool idea." And he called me up and said, "How'd you like to form a trio with Terry?" And I said, "That sounds like a great idea." So that was fine, except that Terry was an RA. She was on duty, so we had to meet at her place. So I came over after dinner, the appointed evening, and snuck in. She let me in, and then Rick never showed up, and the rest is history.
Oh, we
Wow.
talked about 4 in the morning.
my.
One of those like
So
we had everything in common.
Yeah.
It was it
Yeah,
was a lot of fun,
yeah.
and
And then the next day, we were both on the phone with each other. We just had a funny feeling about this. It just felt right, And we, even though she had a boyfriend, we were just talking about a musical partnership at this point. Although I had to say I was pretty much smitten, so I knew that there was something else in the offing besides just playing songs together.
it was meant to be,
It was meant to be. But,
Anyway.
You couldn't avoid it. So
that's how we started. Kent,
Wow.
Ohio, 1973.
great story. And I know Terry was in college. What about you, Greg? What you were out playing? You say you were out playing. Were you in school?
Well, I
also?
wasn't at the university. I was living in Kent, working in Kent,
in the theater.
and I was doing some theater there and a little bit of singing. I had been drafted as a conscientious objector during the war there, and I was still working at the place that I had been working for months, fulfilling my duty as a conscientious objector, working as a nursing assistant in various different facilities. And so I was doing that, and so I was just a townie, But Terry had the history at Kent, very serious history at Kent State.
Wow, what a great union of amazing musicians, and so you started. Yeah, Terry, you play the harmonica, which I love when you play the harmonica.
Thank you.
The mandolin, the dulcimer, and the guitar. Multi-instrumentalist, and like I said, just the joy to watch them playing together, especially when you're playing the harmonica. I kind of love it. Anyway, well, you guys are great storytellers. You once told me a story about Pete Seeger and meeting him and him in the midst of taking his garbage out. That story sticks in my head.
Yes,
Would you tell
recycling
that?
story.
Say that again?
The recycling
The
story.
recycling story.
He was recycling.
Yeah.
He had his
Oh,
truck
okay.
full, had his truck full of recycle
He was
stuff.
taking his big garbage pans full of bottles and cardboard and paper and stuff, and he was taking it all down the hill.
And he had a straw hat on because it was summertime.
Yeah.
And we're coming up, and if you ever go up his driveway, it's a little treacherous.
Calling it a driveway is being really kind.
Yes, it's a very full of potholes.
It's not a driveway, really.
Really big potholes.
I think they did it that way purposely. They
Yes.
kept it that way purposely. Not that they were not inviting people. It's just
Exactly, maybe.
they
Why
had-
maintain it?
there was no question. They might have been targets at times.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. But anyway, so Pete comes and I roll down the window and he says, "Magpie, you're early."
Okay, we should say that the story, the way that story began was that we were recording an album. We wanted to get Pete to play. We'd actually had Pete play banjo on a previous album that we did with Kim and Reggie Harris, and so we were doing this album, and we wanted to have Pete play banjo on our cover of his song, which was "Sailing Up My Dirty Stream." And he agreed to do it, and he was all excited about doing it. And then what had happened was a couple of weeks before that, Toshi died, his wife Toshi. And, 70 years of marriage, and she passed away. And so everything was kind of up in the air as to whether or not we were actually going to, continue to do this, make our appointment. And but we called around, we asked a few people, and then they asked a few people, and it got around to it. They said, no, you should just call Tina, because I'm pretty sure Pete still really wants you to come up. Despite the whole situation, he still wants you to come up and do it. And we said, well, okay. So we called up. Sure enough, they invited us up. This was 2 weeks after Toshi died, to the day. And we were driving up the driveway at the appointed time. He was coming down. It was funny because when we were coming up the road, and there was a passing place, just wide enough for him to pull his truck off to the left a little bit and get us, let us by. So, which he did, and then we pulled up alongside. He ran around to the driver's side, and I rolled the window down, and that's when he said, and then he said, go on up, I'll be back in about 15 minutes. So, sure enough, he was back really, really quick. We went up to the house, and Tina and Katama were there, and we set up, and we set up the microphone and everything, and we recorded him playing the banjo. It was fabulous. Couple of things about that happened. He said, he thought we were, because everybody was interviewing him. Everybody was, videotaping his stories. And he thought we were there to do that. And we said, no, we're going to record you play banjo, remember? And he said, oh, yeah. He said, well, I haven't been playing banjo too much since I busted my finger. And then he held up his left hand. And his middle finger was like permanently crooked at a right angle. And we said, oh, my.
Are you going to be able to
It's all right. I can play. He says I can play. He was fine playing. And what happened was we got started, and it was a little too loud for him in the headphones. We had to dampen it. Actually, we had to get a.
He was so really cute. He said, "Terry, go get me a towel quick," and so he could dampen the back of the banjo. So he dampens the back of the banjo, and then he says, "Well, I'm too loud. I need to hear more of you." He was just a wonderful human being, and just a joy to be with. And then after all that was done, and really we didn't take more than 1 take, 2 takes, and then we sat and talked about
First
Toshi.
one was the best.
Yeah, the first one's always the best. And then we sat and talked about Toshi for at least 3 hours. And it was such a wonderful thing to be with him.
Just the two of us sitting there hearing his stories about Toshi, and he's told these stories about Toshi to a lot of people over the years, but what an incredibly special experience that was for us to get that kind of one-on-one. Actually, one, that's us. 1, 2-on-1.
Whatever. It was just a wonderful moment that, I'll never forget. And he was so incredibly joyful about it, considering the fact she had dementia for 2 years, and so did my mom. So I really kind of understood this, where the person's there, the body is there, but the person's kind of not there.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's almost like he had mourned her, during those 2 years.
Yeah,
in a
I
lot
think
of
he had.
ways.
I think he had said his goodbyes,
Yeah.
and in fact, people talk about that. That's one of the terms that's used to describe death by dementia is the long goodbye. And indeed, I think because it was really the better part of 2 years. The last time that we saw Toshi, she was
Not in good shape.
not Toshi.
Not in good shape.
And, so anyway, that was a really talk about a memorable experience, and we've had a number of memorable experiences with Pete over the years.
But that certainly was a highlight, and it happened on my birthday.
Yeah,
And you're so lucky to have had that experience, to have been able to do that with a legend, a living legend at the time that you were with him. And once again, I'm going to mention the fact that Terry and Greg have a brand new album, and this is it. The title is Endless River, and Magpie is the group that they call themselves and have for the past 50 years. It's just amazing and hard to believe they're still incredibly good as they are. Are you going to play for us?
This is a Utah Phillips song, so
Seems there's nothing we
it's
can
one of
do.
my favorites most recently.
And the name of it?
It's called Singing Through the Hard Times.
Okay.
Sometimes our living gets so dark and lonesome. Looks like there's nothing we can do. So we reach out to each other, raise a song together. Let our voices carry us through. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come. And when the war clouds gather, it's so easy to be angry, and just as hard not to be afraid. But in your own heart, no matter what happens, you just can't turn your back and look away. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come. So hand in hand together, we help each other carry the light of love in us every day. And if we learn to live it, walking and talking and giving, that world of peace won't be so far away. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the good times to come.
Yes. Magpie, and that was a Utah Phillips song. I sing through the hard times. Is that it?
That's it. That's
And wow, what a great tune and great performance by Magpie. Let's talk a little bit about your new album and first of all, what was the inspiration behind it? I'm assuming it was the 50-year celebration, but
Well, if you look, there's 19 tracks if you look, and there's extra if you do if you go to Bandcamp, and if you do the download there, you get 2 extra tracks.
there are fantastic.
And
I always recommend people going to Bandcamp to get the album.
Yes.
And if you don't have a physical copy,
1, 2, 3. Oh, my golden sneakers that I love so well. With my red ball cap, they look so swell. But my long red tie, I'll lay away. I won't need it in my cell in the morning. And my orange jumpsuit that I'll get this June. I know you're all thinking can't come too soon. And my old golf cart that I love to drive, swapping for a jail wagon in the morning. Oh, them golden sneakers. Oh, them golden sneakers, them golden sneakers. I hope you buy to help poor little old me. Oh, them golden sneakers. Oh, them golden sneakers, them golden sneakers. I hope you buy to pay my legal fee. So it's goodbye, people. I'll have to go where the rain don't fall and the wind don't blow. And my old blue suit I will not need when they walk me to the jail in the morning. Them sneakers might help to pay my fine with the tiny little flag and the big gold shine. If they don't sell enough, they're gonna lock me up. No more blow dryers in the morning. Oh, them golden sneakers. Oh, them golden sneakers. Them golden sneakers. I hope you buy to help poor little old me. Oh, them golden sneakers. Oh, them golden sneakers. Them golden sneakers. I hope you buy to pay my legal fee. And the King James Bible I'll sell you too. I have many in red and white and blue. With the sticky gold pages I'll sell it to you. Make a little profit in the morning. The good Lord wrote it, it wasn't me. But I'll make the profit off it, don't you see? If you'll just help poor little old me, maybe pay my fine in the morning. Oh, them golden sneakers. Oh, them golden sneakers. Them golden sneakers. I hope you buy to help poor little old me. Oh, them golden sneakers. Oh, them golden sneakers. Them golden sneakers. I hope you buy to end my misery.
your website.
Our website is magpiemusic.com.
There you go.
And all these projects we've been talking about. The Harriet Tubman project is called Harriet Was Here in My Backyard. And that's there. And all of our other creative projects, you can see videos, it's
That's
our
why
webmeister, John Hamm, is just like, we are so lucky to have him. So it's a discography, everything you want to know, luckily.
That's
Yes,
why
for
I
that.
point people to your website, because there is a lot there, and you'll learn about all the things that they're doing, which is even, more than music. What about performing? Are you performing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There is a schedule there. I saw that. And
Yes, I did not get April's up yet. I've been slow because it was tax time and we were working on our taxes. And we also had lots of other things we needed to do.
it's important to go to Magpie's website and check out upcoming performances.
Oh, yes.
It could be in your area because they live in this area.
There is going to be. In fact, I want to send a shout out to all of our listeners out there in Catskills because, of course, we are two of you.
Exactly.
We live in the northern Catskills. We live up in northern
I
Schoharie.
call it the cataracts between the Adirondacks and the Catskills.
So we live up in Schoharie County.
Yeah.
And
A lot of my friends there, Sonny and
yeah.
Reggie Harris.
Sonny Oaks is the one who got us all up here.
Yes,
Yeah,
and Reggie across
exactly.
the driveway.
But we are, in fact, doing a performance in May for Hudson River Sloop Clearwater in Kingston at their festival.
They call it an Earth Day festival.
It's an Earth Day.
Earth Fair.
It's a celebration of the river. And
Oh, neat.
Earth Fair.
When is that?
I'd have to go get the calendar. Here, let me go get it.
okay, you go get it.
I'll go get it.
Yeah, so we're very excited about that.
Great.
They called up and said, "Would you like to sing for Clearwater?"
Which we do a lot.
And we said yes.
May 11th,
May
Saturday.
11th at Kingston. Yeah, we'll be doing that.
Saturday.
May
Saturday
11th.
the 11th.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually set
Go
up
to
as
clearwater.org. I'm sure they'll have some information
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clearwater.org would get you all the information about the. There's going to be lots of wonderful people. Betty and the Baby Boomers, friends of ours, lots of friends of ours. It's just going to be a delight.
And we, of
Wow,
course,
that's
will
so
be
great.
posting it on our website.
I think Guy
too.
Davis is going to be there.
We'll be posting it on our
Oh, yeah.
website.
Wow.
Yeah, and it'll be on our website. We've been
just haven't got
slow.
to it
We've
yet.
been so busy catching up with our life after
Actually,
we got home.
I just got all the detailed information the other day, and there's more details to come in. So
Yeah, so we'll make sure we get it up.
We'll be posting it about it, and we'll be putting it up on Facebook too for all of our Facebook friends.
Yeah.
So people will find out from us, and of course the
Oh,
entire
great.
Clearwater organization.
Terry and Greg, you guys are such unique people, and may you have another 50 years of performing and singing great music and just being the people you are. You're just wonderful, and I'm so proud to call you friends.
Well, thank you, Artie.
Thank you, Artie. We feel the same way about
Yeah,
you.
thank you, and thank you for all the support of the music scene that you have provided
Yes.
over these years. I really appreciate
You know,
it.
without you, no one would know about all these great musicians and the music that's available.
Well, they're going to know about it from me, that's for sure.
That's for
Hey,
sure.
guys.
Okay,
have a
thanks so
wonderful-
much.
Wonderful afternoon. And
You too.
I'll see you. Maybe I will see you soon. I don't know.
See you down that folk highway of life. I like
I'm
to
a
say.
hermit, and I never go anywhere, but you never know. It was great to see you here.
Likewise.
Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Circle of the grandmother bringing forth anew the bounty of the earth to see her children through, as it was for all the ancestors, still today is true in the land of the Cree people. But now I hear they're coming to build their power dam. They want to flood this valley, they want to drown the land, and they never stop to ask just how much earth can stand in the land of the Cree people.